Hello? Beep, beep, beep. How are we doing, good peeps? Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are ya? It's all happening. It's all happening. So what have we got for you this morning? Well, first off, it's March. Gosh, we're there. We got there. Come and be a warrior teacher. Buy me a coffee. It's the end of the month. Anything you can do to help out, do it. Other than that, let's go straight on. Do you remember a law firm called Garden Court Chambers? Now, you may recall their marvellous drubbing in court by Alison Bailey and her team when she took them to court for discrimination and won right royally and gave them a good old illegal shafting, right? Oh, it's glorious. It was glorious watching that over a couple of days. I was so excited. Can you imagine that the law could be excited? So we have an article here from rollonfriday.com written by a GC lawyer, which sounds like an American jurisprudence expert, but no, it's actually just a GC lawyer, a gender critical lawyer. And it was on the 27th of February, and it's in response to a visit to the aforementioned Garden Court Chambers by Maya of the Forstater. Naomi Cunningham. Good old Naomi. I could watch her all day. Calm, deliberate destruction. That's what we see. Pinpoint sharp. I love it. I love it. She reminds me of a satisfied cat. It's just so great to see her in action. So, Naomi Cunningham, Maya of the Forstater, various other luminaries and alumni of the GC movement went to Garden Court Chambers for a talk. They were women and all about gender and stuff, right? So they went, okay, sat there and watched it. I know a couple of other people that went as well. Garden Court Chambers advertised a seminar at which they proposed to discuss anti-trans beliefs in the workplace. It's glorious. They just line themselves up for every time. It comes to the attention of various gender critical types, lawyers and others, and some of us decide to go. Of course we do. We've been no debated, demonised and shunned for years, and here's a bunch of lawyers on the other side proposing to talk in public about our subject. The enjoyment is dripping off the digital page. We're interested to know how they think employers should handle pesky people like us. Pesky people like us. And besides, we think it would be fun to ask them some questions. It's just great. So several of us book promptly. We get an acknowledgement the same day that describes us as delegates, gives details of time and place, and contains no hint that we may still be awaiting confirmation of a place. We note our diaries. One of us steers conferences onto the day to make the best use of travel time. At this point, presumably someone at GCC looks at the delegate list and says, oh my God, I need a cup of tea. Whatever shall we do? The TERFs are coming. Can you imagine? Just about to put the tea to their lips and they read the list of people. It would be like the arrival of the girls back at St Trinian's for the local village. Do you remember that? When they all go, they're on the train and they board up the windows and... Oh, and Alistair Sim in a dress, panicking. Who was the bloke that used to hide in a bush? What was his name? Flash Harry. Anyway, back to it. Little sort of sideways glance there at old British comedy. Emails, panicky calls, squawks of alarm by WhatsApp. There is an approaching army of at least 4 or 5 terrifying, polite, reasonable women. One can understand their fear. It's the disdain. It's the disdain. The speakers no doubt tear A, out their hair, and B, up their talks. They substitute a pedestrian plod through the legislation in some of the case, or they send the women they can identify as gender critical, sorry, we are fully booked. And these emails they sent, sorry, we are fully booked emails, which require them to attend remotely. So it's like, yeah, you can't come, you've got to watch us online. Then at least the provoking questions that these women would ask could be ignored. Isn't this glorious? They changed the event details on their website to say, this event is for solicitors who practice in this area. Desperately. They're about to publicly shit themselves. And they're trying to hold it in. It's too glorious, right? We note to our considerable glee that one of us who did not identify herself as such got a place after that requirement was brought in. She works for Citizen Advice, no doubt a near guarantee of innocence and purity in the eyes of the folk at Garden Court Chambers. But she is neither innocent nor pure. She is one of us. Gender criticals assemble! Somebody's going to have to make a film of this. Several of the disinvited write stroppy emails, variations on, why are you only telling me this now? I made plans and arranged my diary. They fold. Garden Court Chambers folds and let them in. In other cases, Garden Court Chambers hold firm. Sorry, we're fully booked. Those of us who have received emails telling us we can't be accommodated ignore them and turn up anyway. But we sent you an email. I am here in person. You can see me. Deal with it. Fantastic. Those of us who received emails turn up anyway. They park the first of us in reception while they work out what to do with her. More arrive. With Maya Forstadt. With Maya Forstadt bringing up their rear, unmissable with her big hair and bright raspberry pink coat. Bright raspberry pink coat. Maya! I saw you, but I think it was Maya posted it actually on Twitter yesterday. A picture of her, and then saying about this pink coat, this pink outfit she was wearing, looking all pinkish, and then had a picture of those women from Greece. Do you remember what they were? I can't remember what they were called. Look at me, I'm Sandra D. Look at me, I'm Maya Forstadt. Just fantastic. The pink ladies. That was it, wasn't it? The pink ladies. Into all this schmozzle. What a word. Schmozzle. We want more of this word, please, schmozzle. Step a couple of friendly chaps from Travers Smith, whose booking has also come unstuck, but for reasons unrelated to witchery. GCC staff would doubtless like to admit them, but can't do so under our noses without making it obvious they are choosing to exclude us. So these two innocents get penned up in the waiting room with the witches. Baby and bathwater time. It's just superb. Finally, they do a theatrical count of witches in the witch's pen and grudgingly let us through. The conversations go on in the background. Pretend to count them. Pretend to count them. You tossers. The chair has started her introductions by now, so we make a dramatic late entrance. We sweep in with Meyer at our head and the two gently bemused chaps from Travers Smith in our midst. Audible gasps. Thunderous looks from the panel. We take our places in the front row. We listen quietly. We ask polite, unanswerable questions at the end. We repair to the basement after for drinks and generous nibbles, courtesy of Garden Court Chambers. The atmosphere is convivial. We chat amiably with the speakers because if lawyers can't politely and respectfully debate this issue and disagree without falling out, what hope that anyone else will? Did we also raise a glass of Garden Court Chambers wine to Alison Bailey? You bet. Go and have a look at the comments. Go and have a look at the comments that come after. I'll put the link in the Dubras view. It's utterly genius. Just these women. They're indomitable. Indomitable GC women. Shout out to all of you that went. Well done. Let's get them by the Coblocks and hang them up by the Buster Browns. That's what I suggest. Don't get any nonsense from them. Fantastic. I'll see you all later.